If you like the content that we're pushing out, please like, share, and of course subscribe. And let us know in the comments what you think about our videos. Like, why would you watch it and not tell us what's going on? And I hope to see you later on. Peace out. Welcome to another alternative factuals video, you guys, and today we're going to be discussing two characters that are very similar because, as you already know, today is Anime Friday, and that makes it a versus battle. Now remember, I'm trying this series just to see how you guys like it. Maybe you won't like it, maybe you will. Let's see. But anyways, let's jump right into it. So this character we're going to be discussing today is from My Hero Academia, and that is Denki Kaminari. That's how you pronounce his name. I'm not quite sure. I probably butchered that, but you know, what are you gonna do? Sue me? Probably. Who knows? The internet is not a place for opinions, apparently. And his ability is electrification. Now, Denki's quirk allows him to shoot electricity from his body. However, one of the limitations that he has, if he's exceeding his wattage, this can cause his brain to short circuit and kind of basically make him a little bit retarded. And he usually can charge up his quirk by using a phone charger, basically meaning he can plug up like any other electronic device or smartphone, which makes it, I guess, kind of convenient because I guess depending on the charger or whatever like that, he can charge up pretty quickly. But his indiscriminate charge is approximately 300,000 volts, excuse me. And from what we've seen, well, one, that's a lot of voltage, so that makes him a pretty powerful person. And as we know in the My Hero Academia world, people's quirks can actually be exercised, meaning if they use it more frequently, it works like a muscle. It gets more powerful. The drawbacks of the quirk begin to decrease over time as they use it more and more and more. So that's one thing. Now, I'm going to get a little bit into his character because from what we've seen in the show so far, we don't really know a whole lot about him because he's not really like a main cast or main character. He's more of a support character in the show, so there's not too many showings of him, but we've seen a couple that would give us an idea of how powerful he is. Now, we've seen in the My Hero Academia when they were initially taking a test in that studio stadium, when he actually had his fight, that he actually exerted himself in terms of his electricity, but he was still very powerful in terms of his ability. He's very versatile, and he has the ability to use this power even when it comes to water, which actually gives him an advantage over the next person I'll be introducing after this character. Now, in this case, the only thing that I feel like that really Denki doesn't really have working in his favor is I don't know how his electric powers work. I don't know if he can amplify his body's functions with the electric powers like they do in Marvel Comics or DC. So we'll have to get a chance, but let's see. Anyways, I'm going to jump into the next character. Now, the next character I'm introducing is Electro. Now, Electro, you probably remember from this Amazing Spider-Man movie with Jamie Foxx. He did a pretty okay job, in my opinion. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to hear the fifth degree about it in terms of everybody else and what they thought. But Electro has a very, very similar power, and he is actually able to do exactly what Denki's able to do, but I think to a little bit more of a degree, just basically due to the nature of its power. Now, Electro is, like I said, very powerful. He can exert many volts in terms of voltage and power and wattage, whatever. There's no exact number in which he can do it, but only shows and feats in which he can do it, which is what kind of separates him a little bit. But he went through an experiment where he was actually struck by lightning, kind of similar to Barry Allen, haha, funny. But he was struck by lightning, which allowed him to manipulate and generate electricity out of his body. Then later he was actually exposed to another experiment which allowed him to not only amplify the amount of wattage and power that he can actually hold, but also this allowed him to generate magnetic fields, which allowed him to repel and even do similar things to like Magneto in Marvel Comics. Now, also what made this incredible is because of the fact that his wattage increased and because of the power that he had in his body actually started to go up. He actually was able to vaporize water before he touched it, and which was actually a pretty big weakness for him previously. So this is basically his final form, when he was actually able to use electricity in water, and he was able to vaporize water so that way it wouldn't affect him, as well as he was able to hold and generate a lot more power than he previously did in his body. Now, unlike Denki, he actually can increase his body's functions a lot like Black Lightning in DC Comics to increase. So because of the electricity, he actually can amplify his healing factor, he can amplify his strength, he can amplify his, I guess, intelligence, or even how fast he's able to think, and he can also affect other projectiles and stuff like that, as well as also how he can affect the human body as well. So he has a very wide range of possibilities in terms of how his powers can be used, which makes him a very, very deadly combatant, as well as I'm not really sure if he's a hand-to-hand specialist, but he definitely has some, he has hands, he definitely has hands, so there's always that. Now, given the information that we know about both of these characters, none of them really have a whole lot out there in terms of their personal powers and how they use them. But based on what I've seen as well as what I've read about both characters, despite that Denki not having much out there, and even Electro, he doesn't have a whole bunch of information, but a little more than Denki, I'm still going to give it to Electro, honestly, but I still feel like depending on the situation, Denki might be able to take it. And here's the reasoning why. Now, they're both electrical type users, meaning if Denki uses up all his power and exceeds his wattage, the fact that he's being attacked by somebody else who is of obviously electrical origin would actually be recharging him as he's receiving that backlash. So honestly, it can go either way, to be quite truthful, but the only reason I'm tilting it a little bit towards Electro is simply because Electro can actually enhance his physical body functions and actually develop a healing factor, enhance his strength, thinking, and all that stuff. So that's the only reason why. In reality, it all depends on the plot, and everyone knows plot is everything, but Electro gets it just by a skim of his teeth, just due to the nature that they're both electrical beings. But in reality, it can definitely go either way. So if you're new to the channel, please be sure to like, share, and of course subscribe, and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think of this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace out, Zaddy.